Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of KFFB's Open Mic program. And we do have Land Commissioner Tommy Land with us right now. And Tommy, I remember when you ran for office, I thought you were a natural for this job. I'm telling you.
Well, thank you, Bob, for giving me another opportunity to be on with you. Like I tell everybody, I was born for the job.
It is. You know, one thing is a little different, though. I mean, this is your first time to see this as everyone else of working from home. I mean, this is kind of a shock to everyone. But even you're as a commissioner, you are working from home as well. Explain what's happened at the Capitol, and as everyone else has been trying to work from home. What's happened there?
Well, the Capitol, of course, it closed to the public access several weeks ago, and most of our folks have been working from home since that time. Of course, fortunately, this year, we started online redemption so that people can now redeem their property in the Land Commissioner's office. They can redeem it online. And, of course, we didn't do it for the pandemic. We were doing it just as a process of improving the office. But it really came at a very opportune time. It's been used quite a bit by the public. We still have folks that return phone calls. If you call our office, and of course, if you don't get an answer because we're talking with someone else on another line, if you'll just leave a voicemail for us, that will generate an email that comes to someone and we'll return your call.
Well, that's just amazing technology. But we know one thing we got to look at, too, is the land auctions. That's something that we've talked with you about in the past in your office, John Thurston, prior to you. The land auctions are something for tax purposes. It's an auction for tax due. But this has been postponed. Explain what's happened there.
Yes, normally we would start our tax auction season in April, and it runs through the end of September, 1st of October. But with so much uncertainty going on about when we're going to be able to go back to work and when we're going to be able to hold an auction and not have to be concerned with social distancing, what we did was we just canceled all the auctions for this year. So if you do have property that's tax delinquent in the Land Commissioner's office, you don't have to be concerned about being sold this year. It won't be sold this year at auction. Now, next year, what we intend to do next year, if everything works out, we're going to have 2 auctions in each county. If it's a small county with a small amount of property to be auctioned off, we might combine them into one auction held on the same day. Bigger counties, like for instance Benton County, Pulaski County, counties like that, we'll probably actually have 2 different sale dates for those counties. But we'll come out, we'll announce the dates of the sale sometime around January of 2021, and we'll be moving ahead then. We are receiving a lot of redemptions, and of course those redemptions, that money comes back to the county. Probably a little bit more than 50% of the money we collect for the counties comes in through redemptions through our office. So we'll be returning probably to the counties about 50% this year of what we would have normally. But then after the auctions, of course, then they'll get next year's money and this year's money too at the same time.
So if someone knows that they're basically late on their taxes on their land and they want to redeem, explain it. Will you just go to your website?
Yeah, just go to my website. You'll see a tab that you can click on to redeem property. You click on that. You can pay for it with a credit card or debit card. I'll tell you one issue that we have had is people trying to pay with cash cards. Cash cards don't seem to work the same way that debit cards or credit cards do. But like I said, you can pay with a debit card or a credit card. There is, I believe it's a 3% fee that's added onto that to pay for your credit card, but you can do it right online. You can do it from the comfort of your couch. You can do it on your phone. It's not difficult at all.
Now, one thing, too, looking at the Land Commission there, you found a lot of history. I mean, some neat stuff last time we talked. Share that with those that may not caught that last time.
You know, one of the smaller portions of our office, but in my opinion, one of the most interesting is the historical portion. We do have a vault, and we keep historical documents in that vault. We have all the original plat maps for the cities in Arkansas. We have a lot of original deeds. In fact, some surveyors still come to our office to do research to find out a beginning point on a survey. We actually, in our office, we actually have the original survey notes from the Louisiana Purchase Surveyor. Now, that survey was conducted in 1830. We have his survey notes with us. A lot of people don't realize this, but the Louisiana Purchase Survey didn't begin in Louisiana. It began in Arkansas, southeast Arkansas in Phillips County. We do have a small state park there called the Louisiana Purchase State Park. You drive into that state park, you park, and you take an elevated walkway out through a swamp, and that's where it's located. It's just out in a swamp. You go at the end of that walkway, there's a granite monument, and that granite monument signifies the beginning point of the Louisiana Purchase Survey. And that, that was a huge survey. And of course, done in 1830, it was done with very primitive tools and equipment. But one of the things that's so interesting to me about that is back just a few years ago, they wanted to check that monument and see how close it was to where it should have been. So using GPS technology and satellite imagery and everything, they came in and they looked at that monument and they measured it, and that monument was 2 inches off.
Amazing. Is that amazing? That's amazing stories.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's things like that are so interesting to me, and I'm sure they are to others. And of course, one other thing that a lot of people don't realize is in Little Rock, you've heard of Baseline Road.
Right.
The reason it has the name of Baseline Road is that is the baseline of the Louisiana Purchase.
Wow. That's history. Tommy, you got to love your job.
That's history in Arkansas. Oh, I do. It's a great job.
Well, thank you so much for taking time and talking with us. And got to remind folks, what is your website where they can go and redeem their land from tax?
The website is COSL, and that stands for Commissioner of State Lands, okay, COSL.org, not .gov, but .org. And if they'll go to that website, a lot of information on there. They can look up their parcels, and they can see how much they owe, and they can redeem it, and they can do things like that. We're improving that website constantly, and we've just added a page where if anyone wants to report river debris issues in a navigable river in the state of Arkansas, we now have a river debris reporting page that you can go on there and you can report that. And then we'll take notes and put notes on that when we go out and check it and what we resolve it, how we resolve the issue or something like that. You'll be able to keep track of that as we make progress with it. So we're working all the time to improve the access to our office.
Well, Tommy, thank you so much for taking time and talking with us. Very interesting.
Thank you, Bob. I tell you, I appreciate all the work you do.
And if you just joined us, we've been talking with Tommy Land Commissioner of Arkansas, right here on Timeless 106.1 KFFB. Thanks for joining us.